We are all children of the land. The beginning of human life started with our deep connection with Mother Earth that has provided us with our needs for survival. However, throughout history, the desire for progress and modernization led to colonization, domination, and imposition of ideologies, systems, cultures, and values in the process of nation building. This has resulted in the alienation of the majority of humanity to their interdependent relationship with their environment. But pockets of people resisted their subjugation to sustain their distinct cultures, identities, ways of life, spirituality, and continue their symbiotic relations with their natural environment. These are the indigenous peoples. They now comprise 5% of the global population and scattered in the different regions of the world. In the face of the rapidly changing world, they face tremendous challenges to sustain their identities, cultures, traditional knowledge and innovations, indigenous systems, and collective values. They continue to assert their distinction and calls for the recognition and respect of their collective rights and promotes global solidarity that embraces cultural diversity, peaceful coexistence, non-discrimination, and dignity for all. The Indigenous Ways of Knowing and Learning Fund was born from the recognition of indigenous peoples' continuing roles and contributions for a sustainable world. Indigenous peoples continue to exemplify the wisdom and values of nurturing Mother Earth, our interdependence and relations with one another and with nature that embodies our well-being, values of upholding the common good, mutual cooperation, solidarity, among others. With this, IWKL was established as a partnership for intercultural philanthropy. It is a unique partnership of indigenous peoples and donors based on the principles of promoting mutual respect, solidarity, reciprocity, and complementarity in upholding the well-being of indigenous peoples across the globe. It promotes indigenous peoples' cultural integrity, traditional knowledge, spirituality, and self-determination as critical elements not only for the survival of the indigenous peoples, but for the holistic and sustainable development of humanity. In the spirit of capturing this initiative for indigenous peoples, we now call this the Pawanka Fund, a fund of the Indigenous Ways of Knowing and Learning initiative. Pawanka is a Miskito word from Nicaragua, which means something is growing and strengthening. Since its establishment in September 2014, the Pawanka Fund has partnered with more than 25 indigenous organizations and supported 35 projects in 29 countries across the globe. These projects are the initiatives and self-determined priorities and needs of indigenous peoples in relation to the protection and enhancement of their traditional knowledge, concepts of well-being, strengthening indigenous institutions and cultures, identity and spirituality, empowerment of women and youth, among others. The decision-making in the utilization of funds and the application of cultural due diligence and holistic approach to partnership with local indigenous organizations and communities are fully in the hands of the guiding committee composed of indigenous leaders. Around 18 to 20 projects are approved per year.
The Pawanka Fund is different from others because we have a governance system in which indigenous peoples are members of the guiding committee. We are sharing the knowledge of our people, and through that knowledge, we are trying to reshape philanthropy in the world. We have learned through the Pawanka Fund that when we bring the knowledge of our communities, the ancestral knowledge, and the ways of life in which we share, we can all gain. Revitalization of traditional knowledge is the center of Pawanka Fund, because through the traditional knowledge of our communities and our ancestors, we can really contribute to building a world of justice and well-being.
The Pawanka Fund fully acknowledges and appreciates the Tamalpais Trust, Nova Foundation, Swift Foundation, the Christensen Fund as committed partners in this initiative